Tomorrow, practice test, which will go in as a classwork grade like we've done before. Then you got the real test on Thursday. And then Friday, I believe, is just a practice day, a homework day. You okay? Okay, so we've done word problems before for just regular equations, but then Emma Grace. Now we're gonna do them for systems of equations. So let's remember what a systems of equations is. Okay, two equations, absolutely. So I know a lot of people see these words and they freak out, word problems. But the good news is if you understood last week and you know how to solve the systems of equations, the only difference today is that you're gonna have to write the system. Instead of it being written for you, you're gonna have to translate words into math. So anything else you want to complain about? You can write it bigger. I would give you a magnifying glass, but I don't have one. You want to sit closer? As Jason said, we have two equations, but just as important as that, there's also going to be two what? Two variables. Good, and that's what we need to focus on because those are the unknowns. So let's look here at the first question. They want to know what are the two numbers? That's 4 and 3, just like those two numbers. If you remember from when we did regular equations, the first thing we did with a word problem was we defined the variable. And we define a variable in conjunction with what's being asked of us. So pick two letters, x and y. You want to stick with the good old-fashioned x and y. So let's use x and y's again. But x is going to be whatever the first number is, and then y is going to be the second number. But now we have to look at the word problem and be able to write not one, but two equations, two variables, two equations. Come on, Nico, you get us started. Look at the first sentence. One number is 4 less than 3 times another number. Let's go piece by piece. So let's start off with a one number. Well, we just defined two unknown numbers. So what do you want the first number to be? All we're doing right now is focusing on this part right here. One number. So what do you think that's going to mean? Just put a 4 because you like that number? What do you think, Xavier? Say whatever you want to say. Go ahead. No. Let's go piece by piece. If we just defined, that's exactly what we were going for, sure. When they use the word number, but they don't tell you what the number is, that's usually referring to a variable, and I just defined two variables. So now, yes, technically you could put the y if you wanted to, but Elsie came out strong and she said x. What does is mean? When they say one number is. Jason said equals, good. And then now here's where Xavier tried to define, and he was close, but see, subtraction is not commutative. The order is important. So even though you're reading 4 less than 3 times another number, and you want to write, don't write this down, 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 don't write this down. When you read this, but if you want to be 4 less than 3 times another number, 4 less than something means that the 4 has to be negative. So go ahead, Elsie, tell me what you would have written down.
3 times.
And it wouldn't be x because we already used up the x.
3 minus 4y.
It'd be 3y minus 4. Three times. I wrote x before just because I was telling you not to write it down. So 3 times the other number minus 4. The 4 has to be negative. All right, so one sentence is done. Let's go to the next one. Jonathan, if the sum of the numbers, what does sum mean? Good. And then what did, again, when they use the word numbers, but don't tell you what the numbers are, that usually means variables. Here the numbers, they're talking about both of them. So x plus y is equal to 36. All right, somebody not named Jason that learned something last week? Not because you have to, but just if you want to keep things easier on yourself, what would probably be the preferred method for this system?
Oh, wait, no.
I see. That's what and it's not that you can't do elimination, but why would substitution probably be easier on you? Very good. The x on the top is already isolated. So because we have a statement of equality for x, because we know that x is the same as 3y minus 4, I could get the 3y minus 4 and plug it in for the x on the bottom. So now the bottom equation would read 3y minus 4 plus that extra y that was already there is equal to 36. If you did this properly, what's one indicator? It doesn't guarantee that you did it right, but without it, it guarantees that you did it wrong. What's something that needs to be true after you substitute? One variable. Well, wait, Mr. Romero, I see 2 variables. Yeah, but they're both y's, so that's fine. Hey, Soha. Now that we're down to just y, Soha, what do you want to do? Cassandra? You? Multiply by a negative? No. Esperanza? No. Lana? Yeah, distributive. If you see the parentheses, you gotta get rid of it. Some might say, but Mr. Romero, why'd you put the parentheses there?
What? What?
Some might have been saying, hey, but why'd you put the parentheses there? It's completely pointless. Yeah, in this case, you didn't need it because the x that we plugged in for had a 1 in front, but I always think it's safer to put the parentheses there. When you substitute, you should get in the habit of doing so with the parentheses. And if you have a parenthesis, you have to get rid of it. So in this case, it is by distributing, as Lama said. Sarah, what do you want to do next? Same stuff we've been doing since January. Bailey? Yeah, combine like terms. So the y's are on the same side, Cassandra. So we definitely don't want to subtract the y, but we do want to combine them. 3y and an extra y is 4y minus 4 is equal to 36. Stop showing off, Elsie. Plus 4 plus 4. 4y is equal to 40. So y is equal. So what does this mean? Well, this means we were looking for 2 numbers. Now we know that 10 is one of them. How do we look for, yeah? Sure. Well, it doesn't matter. Yeah, you can plug in the y wherever you want. And in this one, some people might make the argument that the second equation is easier because x plus y is 36. So you can do it mentally and know that that the x is just going to be 26. But I still like the top because X is by itself. So X is 3 times 10 minus 4. 3 times 10 is 30 minus 4 is still 26. So those are the two numbers I was looking for. 26 and 10. Isaac, you're writing all this down? Your finger hurts too much? Do they have a band in Fort Walton? That's in the Panhandle, isn't it? It's in the Panhandle. You know how Florida is a peninsula? And the Panhandle, it's like, you've never heard of the Florida Panhandle? It looks like the handle of a pan. That's why they call it the Panhandle. Huh? Their band is bad? Suppose a movie theater sold 200 adult and student tickets for a showing. Yeah, you're gonna start seeing these a lot. Like for the rest of these are mostly money problems. So just fair warning. Let's get to the end. How many of each ticket were sold? That's what we're looking for. That's what we associate hope with the variables. So what were the two types of tickets? And they want to know how many of each type of ticket. Adults and students. Let's define a variable then. Instead of we don't have to always use X and Y, let's use A for number of adult tickets. And even though my S's look like 5s, I hate using S's like 5s. That'll be number of student tickets. And then now let's try to write a system. Rosalind, you want to do the first one? Why? You want to do it together with Taiwan? Team building activity. Taiwan, give me the first one. 200 adult tickets. Oh, you know what? I'll help you out with this one because this is very easily overlooked. I'm gonna do it in the order. I'm gonna pretend I'm you. So here's what happens with a student I'm trying to help out. They see this, this, and this, and they're like, okay, cool. How much do adult tickets cost? $6.50, right? So and you know that when you're putting this into an equation with the 650, you don't need that last zero. So 6.5 times adult plus how much for a student ticket? Yeah, 450. So 4.5 times S is equal to 980. But then that's what Mr. Romero though, like I don't know how to come up with the second equation. Like I know I see this 200 here, and I know that I haven't used it. But how do I what? No. Well, think about it. We obviously don't know how many tickets were sold of each. That's the whole point of this problem is to figure out how many tickets were sold. But if we know that they sold a total of 200, like it's very easy to overlook that 200. If they sold a total of 200 tickets, what new equation can I write with that information? No, don't say like 100 of each. You don't know that. We don't know how much. Well, forget about what's on the board right now. We're writing a brand spanking new fresh equation. Yes. Oh, okay, so I'm thinking it's going to equal 200. That's the start. We'll go there. But Elsie, what does that 200 represent? In total, right? Total tickets. So I don't know how many adult tickets were sold, obviously, that's what I'm looking for. I don't know how many student tickets were sold, but if I know that together, they sold 200, how can I write an equation with that? We don't know how many adult tickets were sold, but what do we call adult tickets? We don't know how many adult tickets were sold, but what do we call them? No, it's not going to be long at all. A. We don't know how many student tickets were sold, but what do we call it? And if together there's 200 of them, it's a lot simpler than you think. A plus S is equal to 200. No. What would be the preferred method here? Not the only method. You could, but there is no variable isolated, so you would have to isolate a variable on your own if you wanted to use substitution. Because both equations are in limit. Yeah, since they're both in standard form, I would use elimination. But I don't have matching coefficients. So Nico, I'll let you pick. Which one do you want to make match? The A's or the S's?
Let's go with the A's.
Okay, so if you want to make the A's match, what would you have to multiply the bottom equation by?
6.5. Right?
Close. Negative 6.5, because I want the signs to be different. So 6.5a plus 4.5s minus 4.5. I wrote the first one exactly the same. Then the second one will be negative 6.5a minus 6.5s is equal to, I think that's negative 1300, but check my math for me. You guys are scared?
Yeah.
No. It's nice. Team Elsie, Hash Brown, Team Elsie. Okay, so thanks to Nico's brave efforts, we were able to eliminate the A's. But then you have to remember when you use elimination, what are you actually doing? No. Yeah, we're adding. He's a little flustered because the version of hope is leaving.
It's Vikings.
Vikings?
Why would you? No, and their colors are like green and white. Like literally.
Well, you've been looking for that excuse to wear the hat with the horns on it and stuff, so you can just.
They're like forced their colors.
Okay, so I ended up getting 160. So what does that mean? Well, that we were looking for the number of student tickets that were sold, which brings up another point. Because word problems tend to have context, there's something that you're measuring. It's not just a number that you're getting. The number means something. That could reveal if you're making a mistake. So like if I'm looking for the number of student tickets and I either get a negative or like a decimal, can you buy like half a ticket? Can you buy a negative amount of tickets? No, so you know, just keep that in mind. Now, so if I have the number of student tickets, now I need adult tickets, so I'm looking for A. Pick any equation you want. I'm guessing most of you would pick the second one. Yeah, the adult tickets plus, you want to use the one with all the decimals on it? Minus 160. Allergies. So with me, I give you multiple choice, so you'll follow, like, it's not going to be as important, but what you're supposed to do is now say, hey, look I learned that I was able to apply a system to learn something about life, and this means that I'm gonna sell 40 adult.
So much work for one equation.
Well, it's not one equation, it's two equations. It's not as much work as you would think. It just takes longer when you ask a question and then you hear. Yeah, but then you'll be rewarded for that by doing really well on the test on Thursday. Because if you understood. Yeah, at the beginning of the class, like I started off saying, hey guys, you have a fake test tomorrow, which will be a classwork grade, and then Thursday you have a real test. I did. Practice. Yeah.
Subtract, like when you get one variable, I mean one answer, you subtract it with like the second.
That's not what I did. Boom goes the dynamite. And Macy, did I give you a packet for notes? Esperanza, this way. Here, let's skip to the end. Find the cost of a single bag of mulch and a single bag of fertilizer. Okay, so what we're looking for now is cost. Cost is measured in dollars. So if I were to get a decimal here, would that be okay? Yeah, sure, because money you can go all the way to the hundreds place. If you were to get a negative, would that be okay? Yeah, probably not. No, because unless you go to the store and they give you money to take away mulch and fertilizer, that's not going to be good. But let's see. Let's define a variable. So let's M is going to be cost of bag of mulch, and then F is going to be cost of bag of fertilizer. So this guy, he goes up to a horse. He says, "Why the long face?" Oh.
Now you speak chameleon. Ooh, 5 out of 4 people are bad. Predictably, you.
5 out of 4 people are what? Final fractions? Yeah, I've heard that one before. Oh, that's good.
And they're like, oh, okay, because that's 8.
All right, here. I'm gonna slowly pass these on to you. So, like meaning eventually you're gonna have to solve these on your own. But for this one, I'll solve this for you. But at least you write the equations for me. Jocelyn, write the first one. If 1 bag of mulch and 5 bags of fertilizer cost $23, translate that from words to math.
Okay, I'm just checking right now. Say that again. You know, I would do this if I had some coffee in my system, but unfortunately, I didn't get coffee this morning.
Translate that into words for me. I'm sorry, into math. Translate those words into math. If 1 bag of mulch and 5 bags of fertilizer costs 23, go ahead, John. You can do it, man. Be brave like Nico. In times like these, you just say WWND. What would Nico do?
Oh.
Well, go ahead. Okay, well, so she said 1M, but what is 1M the same as? It's the same as M. Then, plus 1F. 5F, good, is equal to 4 chisel. Okay, now the next purchase. The next purchase was 4 bags of mulch and 6 bags of fertilizer, and that cost $36. Go ahead, Sarah. Drop some knowledge on us. Go. You want me to ask Emilsi? Ya no sé. Soha? Oh, Soha. Come on, Cassandra. Redeem yourself for earlier. Two, 4. Isaac, does your injury keep you from writing? If 4 bags of mulch and 6 bags of fertilizer cost $36, well, it wouldn't be just M. It's 4. No, learning. 4M plus 6 what? Plus 6F is equal to? What am I going to ask? Okay, tell me. It's the one that starts with E and then ends with elimination. Yeah, I would use that too. And you could eliminate whichever variable you want, but I would get rid of the M here. Maurice, how would you get rid of the M? Get it? Maurice, how would you get rid of the M? Oh, you would call me Aurice. How would you get rid of the M, Maurice? Good job, Maurice. Go ahead, Emma Grace.
Okay. And -4 on the top.
Multiply by -4. Yeah. So now I would rewrite my system as -4M minus 20F is equal to -92. The bottom equation stays the same. It's spring studying. We're going to study. Oh, are you guys excited? On Monday we get to spend 3 hours together. Yay.
No!
Fun.
No! No! You're like 3 hours.
Go to the gym. Are you going to work out or something?
Yeah.
Are you sure we're in here?
Yeah, we're going to do karaoke.
Okay.
Okay, last step.
By -14.
Remember that when you eliminate your adding, divide by -14. So now what does this mean? What is the meaning of this? When will I ever use this in life?
Honestly, I'm not going to sit in the grocery store doing this.
You will. You can and you will.
You're gonna be
I'm going to be.
What did we define F as? What did we say F was going to stand for? For family? No, F does not stand for the cost of a bag of fertilizer. So how much does fertilizer cost? How much does fertilizer cost? $4. They charge you $4 for a bag of poop. So now let's find M. M plus 5 times 4 is equal to 23. So how much does mulch cost? It does not cost $23. How much were it? $3.
That's not cheap.
Mulch should be cheap.
It's very
At Walmart. Unless it's rubber mulch. Rubber mulch is the best stuff. You don't know what mulch is? It's like chopped up little pieces of wood, but now like rubber is getting really popular.
Yeah, I hate that.
It's no, it's not. You've never been to a playground before? No, it's not as rubber.
It's better for the environment.
You're bad for the environment.
Probably.
So
That's
that,
easy.
okay.
That's easy.
For,
What?
no, that's not me. I'm Team Elsie. Team Elsie.
Oh my god.
Oh yeah, or your thought.
All right, let's see you guys do this one.
Okay.
We have high school A. We'll call this Archer. High school A is going to be Archer, and then high school B is going to be Markmore.
Yeah, I think it's something.
So they're going on trips, and we want to find the number of students that go in each van and bus. Raise your hand when you got it. In a van. A van. It's a van down by the river.
That's kind of.
Is anybody going to actually try to do this or? Okay, good. Go, Elsie. Team Elsie, go. Team Lana, assemble. Team Hope, scatter. Probably.
Sorry.
What? No, I want the solutions, and then we'll all do the equations together. But I don't want to solve. Mommy, I don't want to solve. Go, Hope, go. Esperanza. Esperanza. Lana. 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 So nobody even got close to the solutions? Okay, so go ahead, Elsie, then we'll settle for your equations. Give me the Archer equation.
Archer one?
Yeah.
And then the first one, okay. 8b plus 8.
8b, okay, so 8 vans times the number of students that go on a van plus
8b.
8b.
Equals 2 buses.
Yep.
And then 4b plus.
And then Birkmar's equation is 4b
Plus b equals.
plus 1b, which is just a b for a bus,
Equals.
and that's 54 students.
And then.
And then things just got kaplooey from there. All right, what would be the best method, you think?
Elimination.
Okay, I like elimination. Substitution wouldn't be bad, but you'd have to solve for one of the variables. Which variable did you choose to eliminate, Elsie?
B.
None.
B as in boy?
B.
Oh, okay. I probably would have done the B here, to be honest with you. Because you have to multiply by bigger numbers. Alright, let's do the B's. So if I want to get rid of the B's, I would multiply by -2. Because then I have to multiply by -8, and the numbers get big. And then lines get lost when numbers get big.
Mr. Emmer, what you got against B's? Why do you want to get rid of them first?
What? -8B.
Where did you pull the -2 from? Weren't you have to do it by 8? Or did you like
I would multiply by -8 if I wanted to get rid of the B's to make them match up. But once I multiply by -2, look what's going to happen to the B as in van. They match up with different signs. It's a matter of what variable you choose.
So just so everything makes it easier?
Well, again, for me, easy is a relative word. None of these would be too hard for me, especially if I had a calculator, like you guys should have. But considering that, I mean, when it comes to either having smaller numbers or bigger numbers, I'm guessing most of you would pick smaller numbers. It's probably in your best interest to multiply by 2 instead of by 8.
Because I'm just wondering like where you pulled the 2 from. Like
Well, I pulled the 2 in order to make the V as a Victor match.
So it's just kind of in the middle of nowhere.
No, it's to make it is the least common multiple of 8 and 4.
Okay.
Actually, I have negative.
Huh? Well, I'm not gonna have negative students once I end up solving. -108. No. 6b is equal to 132. Divide by 6. So 22 students ride the bus. And then if you want to figure out how many students in a van, pick an equation. Taiwan, pick the second one. And we respect Taiwan's wishes. 4 vans times number of students in a van plus, we're using the Birkmar equation. So Birkmar had 4 vans plus 22 extra students in a bus is equal to 54 minus 22. 4 vans, 32 divided by 4. So if you were to contextualize these, there's 22 students per bus, and then 8 students per van. Fax machine. And Rossi. Any questions there? All right, we got 3 left. Let's see if we can knock these out before we do this. Parkview. All right, so we're back at Parkview. Now it's time to go to homecoming. So next year, when Jason finally gets the courage to ask Esperanza out to homecoming, she will be here. Down with Fort Walton. And when Elsie goes with her, upperclassmen to homecoming.
I'm not dating him anymore, so.
more older people. All right, so since upper class and underclass both start with the same letter, let's come up with let's define two different variables here. What do you want to use for upperclassmen?
U.
Yeah, but they both start with U. So what do you want us? Here, all right, I'll pick it. P is going to be upper class. So P is the cost of upper class tickets, and then we'll use an N for the cost of underclass ticket. Instead of wasting time asking you guys to do it on your own, let's just do this together. Lana, you're gonna do this one? You'll never be able to go to homecoming. On the first day, 4 upper class tickets and 1 underclass ticket cost $80. So let's translate that into math. Somebody brave like Nicholas.
Okay.
I'm gonna highlight it for you again. Don't say I don't take care of you.
Oh, yeah, thank you. I appreciate it. I appreciate you too. All right, so 4P.
4P good.
Plus 1 N.
And 1 N is just N.
Is equal to 80.
Is equal to 80 good.
All right, and then on the bottom you're gonna have 2P.
2 upper class. You have 2P.
Yeah.
And 4 underclass is equal to 110. So watch, just to break up the monotony, and then so Lana can get excited again. Even though these are both in standard form, and it would make perfect sense to do this with an elimination, let me just show you how substitution will work fine also. But if I wanted to use substitution, I'd have to pick a variable to solve for, and in this case, the only one that even makes remote sense is that N up there. If I want to get that N up there by itself, I would subtract by 4P on both sides. So I would get that N is equal to 80 minus 4P. I'm not choosing substitution because it's better. I'm just choosing it just to change it up a little bit. We've been doing elimination for a while. So if this is what N is equal to, I'm allowed to get this and plug it in for the other N. So I would then say 2P plus 4, not times N, but times 80 minus 4P, because that's what N is equal to 110. And then how many variables do you need? ¿Cuántos variables are there? How many variables? No, there's only one. There's only the P's. That's good. So 2P plus 320 minus 16P is equal to 110. I get combined, so negative 14P plus 320 is equal to 110 minus 320. Negative 14P is equal to negative 210. And I'm not that smart. Last period I did this, so I already know it's going to give me 15.
Why does that say October 6th?
I just wanted to mess with you. Okay. Let me go take a step. All right, so if P is 15, I can use any equation that I want, and since I went to the trouble of finding an equation for N, I might as well use that, 80 minus 14. Yeah. N is equal to 80 minus 4 times 6.
What?
That's crazy.
How much is an upper class ticket going to cost? How much is an upper class ticket going to cost? How much is an upper class ticket going to cost? It's going to cost $15. How much is an underclass ticket going to cost? money. Poor freshmen have to pay more.
That's stupid.
So is math.
Wait, what?
Okay, so Kristen and Jasmine are selling cookie dough. We skip to the end. What's the cost of a packet of sugar cookie dough and then oatmeal cookie dough? So let's let S be cost of sugar cookie, and then O, even though my O's look like zeros, is going to be cost of oatmeal. Team Elsie,
Yes.
Team Emma,
Yes.
come on, let's finish. Let's look at the first sentence. Then let's do Kristen's equation. 7 packages of sugar cookie dough. That's 7S. Plus 5 packages of oatmeal. I'll put a little O there. 5O. Is equal to 116.
That's show. 25 out.
And now let's do Jasmine's equation.
Alright.
14 sugar cookie packages. 11 of oatmeal plus 11 oatmeals. And that's equal to 244. So let's figure out the cost. And since we're dealing with money, remember decimals would work out okay. Xavier, if you're paying attention. Which variable here? I would definitely do elimination on this one. And what variable does it make probably the most sense to eliminate? Yeah, get rid of the S. Times -2.
Come at me, bro.
Minus 232. 14S plus 11O is equal to 244. This is going to work out beautifully because not only do the S's cancel out, but what's negative 10O plus 11O? And yeah, 1O is just O. So I already know that the oatmeal cookies cost $12. Oatmeal's delicious.
Oatmeal is so good.
You bite your tongue.
I'm just yes.
Okay, so then now you can plug this into whichever one you want. I'll just go into the top one. 7 sugar cookies plus 5 times 12 is equal to 116. So 7 times sugar cookie plus 60 is equal to 116 minus 60. 7 sugar cookies is 56. Divided by 7. Sugar cookie costs $8. So the sugar cookie is cheaper. They don't like you either. So sugar cookie dough is $8. Oatmeal is $12. ¿Te gusta sugar cookie, bro? Brother. All right, last one. Cheesecake. Julio and Jaime. Let's skip to the to what they're asking us. What is the cost? So F is going to be cost of French silk cheesecake, and then let's do S is going to be the cost of strawberry cheesecake. Julio, let's do Julio's equation first. Julio had 2 French silks and 7 strawberries, and he made $94. Jaime, or Jamie, had 6 French silks, 10 strawberries, and they sold for $172. What would be the best method here? Yeah, I would do elimination also. And what variable do you think should? Yeah, how would I eliminate the F's?
Times 3.
Well, times -3 because I got to make the signs different. So negative 6F minus 21S is equal to negative 282. If somebody still has a calculator out, be much obliged to help a teacher out there. So we get negative 11S is equal to negative 110. Divide by negative 11. How much does strawberry cost? How much does the strawberry cheesecake cost? Yeah, $10. Plug that in now to whichever one. Let's choose the top one. 2 French silks plus 7 times 10. Can we please remain seated? Is equal to 94. 2 French silks plus 70 is equal to 94. Minus 70. 2 French silks are 24. So how much does a French silk cheesecake cost? $12. So French silk is $12, and then strawberry costs $10. You have your practice test tomorrow.